Oh, give me a home where buffaloes roam and the deer and the antelope play, where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day. I usually say the clouds are not cloudy all day. What is, let me see. Let's make sure we do it right this time. That's not. Okay, so I was really thinking that channel was a real channel. What a disappointment. Looking at the person, and I'm like, she looks exactly like um uh what's her name? Fairy fruit. Fairy fruit forever. What's her? Yeah, that thing's taking a while to load up. Frisky Fairy Forever. That's her Instagram channel. Looks just like her. And was looking. I said, "This is just like Playboy magazine. These are models. What was I thinking?" Okay, so let me go up here. Hold on. Yeah. So what a disappointment that was, man. Right? Then I started feeling like a fool because I was trying to comment on her whatchamacallit, and I couldn't get the words right. Right? So I ended up looking like a fool. Just a fool, just a fool. The whatchamacallit came out sideways there. And it doesn't even focus in, does it? This is not my best camera. Okay, let's get this moved out of the way. So you know what's going on right now, right? I guess it should be a different way, to tell you the truth. And if this thing had a magnet on it, would be even better. I'm gonna suggest it to the people who design these things. Put a magnet on it. That'd make it a lot better. Okay, so let's see how we doing there. Doing pretty good there, I guess. It's a little dark. Like I said, that's not my best camera. The best camera is on my main phone. So let me turn on a little bit more light. Dang. It's looking at the door. Just a second, let it. Yeah, that's way. Why is it so spaced out? Let me put on the shirt. Hopefully it won't be too hot. I have to wash clothes. I still haven't washed clothes. Okay. Yeah, it feels a little hot. Hopefully that'll go away. It'll get cool a little bit. I told you, every time I go do these live streams, feels like they're hit me with MK Ultra. Okay, so yeah, that is kind of hot. Still a little bit hot. I can turn on the cooler for a minute. had the cooler on for a while. Maybe that'll help cool it off a little bit. Okay, we'll just turn it on air. Just turn it on air with no, what you call it, just to get the hot air out. Okay, so, and let me turn on a little bit of lights. I don't want it too bright, but okay, how's that? Oh, we're still too far that way. Okay, we're on horizontal, so let's see if anybody comes into the chat. Oh, and I was gonna, if somebody comes into the chat, then I'm gonna switch it over to what you would call it, only members only, not members, subscribers. So let's see when that thing turns here. Needs to turn it a little bit more. Whoops. There we go. Okay. There. So I'm going to show you some things. I'm just going to show you some things and show you some stuff on the computer. Share a little bit of feelings of what's going on. You know, I thought that person was a real person. How crazy of me, huh? I don't know. Man, I got to do a haircut. Just a second. Okay. So, what should we talk about first? First, let's talk about moving this stuff out of the way. Okay. Here. Right now. Okay. And so I should have a beanie on, more presentable. But I think they're both out in the car. I've got a green one, but it's kind of dirty. Needs to be washed. So I guess the first thing we should talk about is David Icke. I guess someone is playing an audio clip of David Icke, and they're playing it over and over and over on YouTube. And it's just got a picture on it, and it's got David Icke talking. And he's talking about some stuff that is just way out there. You know, he believes that, or at least he says he believes that this is a computer simulation, which I don't agree with that, right? So he's explaining that theory. And so I don't know why somebody's blasting that over and over again. People ain't gonna understand it. And but yet someone is doing that. And well, you know, the United States hit China with a 100%, another 100% tariff, and about I think it was 1:30 p.m. 1:30 p.m. Bitcoin just took a big old freaking dive, and the altcoins like Floki and Bonk, they got wiped out completely. If anybody had money in, I don't know if they came back or not, but they were wiped out. I mean, just completely just obliterated them. Can you imagine? But anyhow, yeah. So it took a big old freaking dive. I saw the sign. I mean, I checked it out around 6 o'clock in the morning, and I saw the sign. Usually, when it does this one weird sign, and it'll shoot out like a snake tongue, right? It shoots out like a big old snake tongue. You know, it's gonna either shoot up or shoot down, and it shot down. And so that's kind of depressing. But I was going to show you some of these people, but maybe we'll do it later. So I told you about this one website, where you can read all kinds of stuff. I don't know if the guy is still around. His name was Toshi or something like that, Gosti or something like that. I think it was a Japanese instructor or teacher, something like that. That's a good website to go to if you want to learn about all these different things that people are finally finding out about now. But one thing that I'll tell you is that the book, The Biggest Secret by David Icke, you can read it online, but you have to search specifically a certain way. And that's by typing in The Biggest Secret by David Icke PDF, and then scrolling through to where it says Ivantic, and it'll show the book and stuff, PDF, and you click on that and it'll take you to the PDF. And I'll do it right now to show you. So you go to Google. Everybody uses Google, right? Even people with iPhones, do they use Google? Okay, so you go to your search engine and you type in The Biggest Secret, The Biggest Secret by David Icke. And here's the kicker: PDF. Okay? And then you press enter, and you'll see the selections open up. Internet Archive. That one may or may not work. Indiana Digital Library. Document.pub. And you see this one down right here? Before you even scroll where I'm at, you can see it says Ivan Antic. And it shows the website is Ivantic Info. This is the only way to get there, to go in through this link. If you go directly to the website, it just will not let you access it. So this is the only way to get there. And see, if you scroll down, there's other selections too. After Ivantic, they got Scribd, Internet Archive, Amazon.com, right? So you got all these selections, but we know this one works right here where it says Ivan, Antic, and it shows you the website, and then it shows you the biggest secret, David Icke, page 1, this blah, 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 right? You click on it, and it takes you straight to the book, PDF. So you can go to any page you want, and I said, start at page 332, and you will be astounded, okay? Because this makes Epstein Island look like a walk in the park. So the people that are named in there by name, the most high positions in our government are named by first and last name. These are the extraterrestrials, according to this book. The Biggest Secret, the book that will change the world. It's by David Icke, and you can see the pictures of the famous presidents. And here is Princess Diana, and that picture is there because he writes about who he thinks took her out, which are, well, you can read about it, okay? So, but all these other people are, according to this book, extraterrestrials, aka reptilian shapeshifters, because they come from one bloodline and they keep their bloodline pure. And so you can see that it has 541 pages right here. All right, 541 pages. So I guess you can just go in, no, not percent. That makes the book bigger or smaller. I guess you just go to here and you can put in whatever page you want, right? So I'm going to put 332 and hit enter. Yeah, it takes you right to it. See, this right here says page 318. But 1976 Copyright Act for education, fair use for educational purposes. Okay, I'm going to read just a couple of words off this page since it landed on 318, right? Condition has become known as multiple personality disorder or dissociative identity disorder. The latter is more accurate because the compartments are not personalities as such. They are fragments of mind and dissociated. Okay, well, this ain't so good. He's talking about this one person, but let me read right here, okay? I knew from research that there is an obsession among Satanists and pedophiles with having, I don't think I can say that. It's a sex, has to do with sex, and I can't read the rest of this, okay? So you can go in and just read any page, but right now it landed on 318, but this is the page that I was telling you about right here. Page, yeah, here it's in blue, so let's see what this one says. Oh, it's not clicking over there. Let's try this one. Okay, here's page 319. That's crazy. Okay, so let's go down here and see what page this is. What I said 332? 332. So let's go down here a little bit more. You can see how the pages don't match up. Let's keep going. Okay, so there's 337. See, he's naming all these people in here. But yeah, And this is really close to here, what he's talking about. The place where they do their rituals is only like a few miles, maybe 20 miles, I think, from San Francisco. I've gone through there one time. It's wild. I think they got a place up there. I only went up there one time. But anyhow, you can go in there and read it right now if you want to by doing that. Go to your Google browser, and in the Google search engine, type in The Biggest Secret by David Icke, PDF. Hit enter. When the selections come up, look for the one that says Ivan Antic and click on it, and it'll take you right here. Okay? So, you know, or just buy the book on Amazon or eBay, and read the whole book, because it's loaded with information. And I guess I can turn the cooler off now for just a minute. And it's still a mystery to me why you have all these people who want to do a YouTube live stream for the first time, you know, and they have to deal with the stage fright. Okay? Everybody who's taken speech in college, you know that there's a thing called stage fright. And so they don't know what to talk about. So it's a mystery to me that they won't talk about this, which is, I'm pretty sure it's the most looked for thing on the internet. I guess you can ask AI what's the most searched item on the internet. But it's a mystery to me that nobody is talking about it. That's just bizarre. So I'm like, why would they not want to talk about it? Is it because when he starts talking this theory about that this is a computer simulation, is it because they don't understand that and they don't want to look stupid? Right? Could that be it? Because it doesn't make sense that no one is talking about it. Nobody mentions it. I mean, you'll see in comments the people say reptilian shapeshifters, right? But nobody gets on here and talks about it, about what they are, who they are. Read pages out of the book, right? For people. And so I was going to show you something. Oh yeah. In the book, now I told you I think he's a reptilian shapeshifter himself, right? Or else how would he not have all this information? That's too much information that's in the book. And so in the book, he recommends watching the miniseries from 1983. And you can watch it on YouTube. And this is supposed to give you a basic idea of who they are. I kind of have a different kind of picture of who they are. I think that some of them are these people who are on these video live streams. I think, like this one I'm watching, and the other one I told you about, Frisky Fairy Forever on Instagram. You know, they're very attractive, and you know, I thought she was just a regular person. Then when I made the connection between the two and I went in and I searched, I noticed that they look exactly the same. And I'm like, this is just like Playboy magazine. This is the new Playboy magazine. And I'm like, these are freaking models. And I think they might be the humans that these angels came down and they had sex with them, right? The angels came down and the women were all naked, and they took the women and they started having sex with the humans, and they had offspring. I think these are the offspring. They're the hybrids, mix. You got human and angel, fallen angel. And but I mean, if you want to watch V, I guess you can watch V. I'll go here and show you real quick. Okay, so I just type in the search engine V miniseries, 1983 full V miniseries trailer, full episodes. Let's go to full episodes. Oh, I accidentally did an extra click there. Go back. Okay, V full episodes. Okay, so here we got one. This one, I'm trying to read the length. They're not showing the length on here. 3 minutes and 50 seconds. Yeah, these were supposed to be full episodes, right? Yeah, full episodes, but they probably charge. Okay, here's one 17 minutes. Yeah, so these are not full episodes. Here's one 12 minutes. Let's check this one out. Am I allowed to play these? Or could it be a copyright? 1976 Copyright Act. Let me go to a different one. So that's them. Those are the extraterrestrials. And let me play the trailer here. 1983. This one's 24 minutes. Behind the scenes. No, they don't want to watch behind the scenes. I showed this clip the other day. So it'll show you their spacecraft. There you can see their spacecraft. It's a huge mofo, but I guess that's the smaller one. And then you'll see it. That's where they announce themselves to the world. But you'll see their aircraft or their shuttle. It's parked out in the front yard. So it's kind of strange. See, that's their space shuttle right there in front of somebody's yard. Right there, see? So I don't know if you're into that stuff. You can go check it out. And let me get back here and monitor myself here. And so, you know that This is a good song. Missing Persons. Words. That's a good song. And so we go to the channel here, make sure that everything is working. Well, it should be working since everything else is working. Okay. So now, the other night, I don't know why it's doing that. The other night, I had a little drinky poo. That was last weekend. And I guess I was making a live stream, and I don't know if I did it on the live stream or after the live stream was turned off, but I think I put some of this on my toe. This is DMSO, okay? And that stands for dimethyl sulfoxide. This is a byproduct. I think that's what they call it. It's a byproduct of the lumber industry, where they have lumber mills, where they're processing trees into lumber to make for houses, construction. A byproduct of that is dimethyl sulfoxide. And I told you what it does already before on other videos. And you can find out about it yourself, do research. Well, I took the dimethyl sulfoxide, I told you, and I took the other natural antimicrobials, antifungal stuff. It's like kind of like tea tree oil or oregano oil. They have the same properties medicinally. If you don't believe me, read the book, The Encyclopedia of Medicinal Plants and Herbs. It'll have these in there, what I'm talking about. It doesn't have DMSO, it just has the natural. Well, DMSO is natural too, it comes from trees. But and I told you that I took some and I put it on my toe because DMSO is used already. They have patches, and they take whatever substance that they want to treat their subject with, and they put it on that pad that has DMSO, and they put it on the person, and it transfers that into the bloodstream because of the properties of it. It's like magic how a tree does this. But this is what this substance does. Okay? And so I told you how I had studied Hulda Clark, the physicist, and Hulda Reger Clark, and how she had explained in one of her books, she wrote books in every language you could think of. She's probably got her books in like 25 different languages. It's just they're hard to find. But if you go to newcenturypress.org, I think it is, or newcenturypress.com, they're out of Chula Vista, California. That's where she used to do all her stuff. I don't know who's running the store now, probably her grandson or something. They've got all her books in all different languages: Ukraine, Russia, Italian, Greek, Spanish, Korean, and Well, in her book, she explains what causes pain. And in there, she says, I don't know, I don't remember if it's a virus or a bacteria or a parasite, but it's it's um it's one of them. Maybe I should read the book and find out. Okay, it's easy to do. Then I'll be able to tell you what it is. And I got the book right there. And so I told you how Bob Beck, the scientist who worked for NASA in Pasadena, California, at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, said that parasites have been living with humans since the dawn of time, and that every human has about 1.5 pounds of parasites, and they range in size from microns, which you need a microscope to see, to 30-foot tapeworms. And he also said that these buggers go in and they change chemicals, receptors. They do all kinds of stuff because for their to survive. But they don't want you to perish, because if you perish, they themselves will perish. So they're actually intelligent, and they do things in the micro, stuff where everything is really super small, where you got your receptors and your T cells and your macrophages and all this stuff. So they're intelligent. How do you think they've been living all this time? Well, when the pandemic hit, and David Icke was telling everybody that it's a scam, finally now everybody knows what he was saying was true. He was out on the streets with a megaphone telling everybody it's a freaking scam. And I don't know who. I told you, I don't watch mainstream media. I stay away from mainstream media like the plague. The only way I'm seeing some of this stuff is because some of the people are playing it on these video live feeds, vertical live feeds. That's how I'm catching some of it. Okay. But maybe I should stop even doing that, to tell you the truth, because it's like listening to Lucifer. But I don't know who, but somebody came out with this. Take ivermectin. I call it ivermectin, right? Take ivermectin and fenbendazole, just ivermectin. And well, I think this put a dent in a certain industry. Okay. So what I'm saying is, I don't know who it was that did it, but I think a lot of people remedied ailments that they don't even know that they did. Okay. Because there's this little rascal called Busky. And you can find out about him. It's Busky fasciolaspis Busky, or Busky fasciolaspis. That's the scientific name for it. It's a fluke. And well, so there's 4 states who you can walk into the store and buy it yourself. You don't need nobody's approval to, write you up a prescription or anything. That's Tennessee, Idaho, Arkansas, and Louisiana. They passed the law. No freaking prescription required. And so over here in these states, the only thing you can get it for is your horse or your dog or cat. You can walk right into Walmart and buy it for your dog or cat. They got them up on the shelves, and just take it yourself. It's the same thing, basically. Read the ingredients. Ivermectin. And the other states, in my opinion, should do what these 4 states are doing. But anyhow, so somebody's selling it right now on Facebook. Ivermectin and fenbendazole. And so getting back to what Bob Beck said that these things are intelligent. They know what's going on. You try getting rid of them, they do tricks, right? And so when I applied this the first time to my toe, because I barely got, I knew about this stuff for years and years and years, and it finally occurred. I thought, hey, why not try that, right? And so I did. I tried this, and I used it with some camphor, eugenol, and menthol, which are all, I think they're fungicides, natural. And like the next day, my back was and I, made the association. I said, Hulda Clark must have been right. That's them buggers fighting back. Because this stuff goes into your bloodstream, and your bloodstream is the lifeblood of your whole body. It carries hormones and messengers and all kinds of stuff that you need. The liver makes chemicals or whatever, and it transfers it through your circulatory system. And well, this stuff goes into your circulatory system, so it carries it to all different areas. So even though I just put it on my toe, in 10 minutes you can smell it on your wrist. Okay. And I was like, wow, must have been true. Them buggers are fighting back to get you to stop doing what you're doing. And so about 2 days later, it subsided. And I was like, man, there's no way I could, do anything like this. I mean, it was bad. And then so 2 days later, boom, it was gone. And then there was that weekend when I had that drinky poo, and I was making a video, and I told you I was going to tell you about this. So I must have, I don't know if it's on the video or not, or after I turned the video off, I must have put some of this on my toe again, and I forgot that I used it. And so it was like yesterday or the day before, I got that thing back again. I was like, what is it? Is it because it's cold? Because I know sometimes when it gets humid, it does that. It'll, affect your back a little bit. And I said, it must be because it's cold, but it wasn't humid, right? And then I realized I was talking about that stuff the other day when I was making that video. I said, I'll bet you I put some on my toe and I forgot that I had done it. And so I said, when it goes away, I'm going to put some on and see if that pain comes back again. And that way I'll know that that is what's doing it. Because I don't have the pain right now. I can bend over, right? Bend over. But when it was in full force, I couldn't move anything. And so that's dimethyl sulfoxide. If you know a naturopath, if you live down in the Los Angeles area, they have naturopaths down there, or up in the northern area. You can ask them about that and see what they say. So just wanted to share that because some people swore by it. Some people swore by it. You got, parasite medicine like this, herbs and stuff. But there's one common pinworm for babies, and children, how they're always touching and, they get into things and they get infestations. So they got these products at Walmart. It's called Rhesus, and it's for pinworm or hookworm or roundworm. But the thing about that is that one you can buy yourself right over the counter. You don't need a prescription or nothing. It's called Rhesus. But the thing is that it does not get Booski. Booski is a bad rascal. Check it out. Go search for Booski. The thing that gets Booski is ivermectin. And they give it to horses. They give it to sheep. They feed buckets of it, right? To deworm them. So ivermectin, that's the one. That's the one that gets Booski. Do research on Booski. It's Booski fasciolopsis. And so, yeah, I'm going to check this girl out a little bit more, this lady. And she didn't come on tonight and do a live stream. So I'm thinking, it's freaking Hollywood, dude. This is just like the Playboy book. These are models. Like the ones on Instagram. And so that's a crying shame. Because she's sitting up here saying all this stuff. So I went in and I started investigating what she's talking about. And I done research on her country, where she comes from. And they got a bad problem with it, just like we do. They got a bad problem with chicks going out and doing the wild thing on their husbands. Husbands going out and doing the wild thing on their wives, getting drunk, having fights, living in dilapidated housing, poverty, and all this. But that's not mentioned. She doesn't mention that. Right? That's the problem. Money, my friend. Oppression. It's the oppressor. And these rascals, Lucifer and the fallen angels, are worldwide. They're in all countries. Okay? So, that's all I've got. It's Friday night. And I was really almost tempted to have a drink. I have one beer. It's a Shalata. But one beer does not work. And it's just torture. And so, these um, assaults on the emotions is just unbearable. So, just gonna tough it out and do some of my activism tomorrow. Be doing some activism stuff, work in the morning, and so I just remembered I was going to go over and try to get one of those plants. I could see where a whole bunch of people went out there and stole some plants. The plants are only about 24 feet, 25 feet, 25 feet from the road, and there's no fence on it. Like the one over in the next town, Lemoore, California, they've been growing it out there every year for the last, I think, 5 years. But it's all fenced, and every last inch of it is lit with huge lights. It must be 20 acres at least, and or more, right? It's like a city block. That's how if a city block is that many acres, that's how many acres it is. And but over here, it's just right there out in the open. And I was telling people about it, and I've seen some propaganda where they're actually trying to say the opposite. I was telling people about it, how they promote that, oh, it's got low THC content in it. And I said, yeah, in the leaves it probably does, but look at all the buds that are on there. You go out there and touch the bud. It's got freaking THC leak, all freaking gluey and stuff coming off of it. And I was riding by there the other day, and you can see where people went out there, and you can see the missing plants. Before it was straight. I mean, if you don't look for it, you won't see it. But before it was straight, all the plants were perfectly aligned like this. And now you can see that there was one missing here, two missing here, one missing here. They raided the place. They took a whole bunch of plants because they could go out there on their bikes. The town is right there. Just ride out there on your bike and take all the plants you want. But these were taken by the road. So it must have been somebody went through there on their car, and it must have been the right time, and it jumped out and grabbed some plants, threw them in their car. Got enough of that for 2-3 years. And yeah. So I'll probably turn this back on tomorrow and be on vertical, because there's no chat. There's no people in the chat at all. So talk to you tomorrow, I guess. And go in and see if this, I know I still haven't said the name of the channel, because I just don't think it's a good idea to mention the name of the channel. So thanks for tuning in. Talk to you tomorrow, hopefully.